Hello and welcome back to our Bible story time. I'm so glad that you're here today. We're reading stories from the Lectionary Story Bible, which is a book by Ralph Milton, and I'm so glad that he's given permission for his stories to be used. Today's story is a continuation of the ones that we've read on the 5th of May and also the 11th of May, and it's this continuation of the story of Abraham and Sarah. Today, the story is called A Mother of Nations, and it's based on Genesis 17, 8 to 18, 19. God repeated the promise to Abram and Sarai many times. Each time it was the same promise. Their children's 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 children would be a great nation. Each year, it got harder and harder to believe the promise, because each year Sarai and Abram got older and older, and they still didn't have a baby. One day, God said to Abram, "Remember my promise? Always remember. And because of my promise, I want you to change your name. Right now, your name is Abram, which means important father. But from now on, your name will be Abraham, which means the father of many. And Sarai should change her name too. Call her Sarah, which means princess. Sarah will be the mother of many nations." Abraham told Sarah about his talk with God. "But how can that be?" he said. "I'm too old to be anyone's father." Then one day when Sarah was working inside the tent and Abraham was sitting under a tree outside, they had some visitors. Sarah looked out through the door of the tent. Are they sent by God, she wondered. Abraham and Sarah were always kind to visitors and when they came. So Sarah baked some bread and Abraham got some meat, and soon they had a nice meal ready. After the meal, while Abraham and the 3 visitors sat under the tree outside the tent, one of the visitors said something hard to believe. "I'll be coming back this way in about a year," he said. "By then, Sarah will have a baby." Sarah was listening inside the tent. At first, she just giggled a little at the idea of it. A woman as old as a grandmother having a baby? Well, then she started to laugh. She laughed so hard she could hardly stop. "Why is Sarah laughing?" said the man. "Is anything too hard for God?" "Oh, I didn't laugh," said Sarah. "You laughed all right," said the man. "But remember, a year from now, you'll have a baby." When they heard this, Sarah and Abraham both laughed until their sides ached. Then, one day it happened. Sarah became pregnant. Even though she was very old, she was having a baby. She and Abraham were so happy as they looked at their tiny baby boy with his little fists and his tightly closed eyes. So they gave their baby a special name. They called him Isaac, which means laughter. God's promise was coming true after all. Sarah and Abraham knew this as they smiled at the little baby in their arms. They would become great, 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 great grandparents. And all because of God's promise and a baby named Isaac. A baby named Laughter. We'll hear more of their story in the next little while. I'm so glad that you joined us today, and I look forward to having you again tomorrow. Bye.